Hello, and welcome to another edition of TheNorm's Movie Reviews. I'm your host, TheNorm. Today, we shall be examining a rather interesting reinterpretation of the great British literary classic Pride and Prejudice. Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. Seth Graham Smith is an American novelist mostly known for parody novels. Previously, his film Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, it was, for the most part, a very intelligent film, because amidst all the bloodshed, vampires, and martial arts axe-wielding by our 16th president, it was still an intelligent allegory for the nature of slavery, directly comparing it to vampirism. It was not by any means a perfect film. It suffered from severe structural problems that kept it from reaching its full potential. But nevertheless, it was still as entertaining as it possibly could have been. Its predecessor, on the other hand, not quite as much. The story is a somewhat clever reinterpretation of the classical British novel Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. In its time, it was a bold exploration on the nature of class, marriage, and self-knowledge. It remains to this day a very popular literary classic, especially amongst the young ladies. Not having read the book personally, I cannot attest to its accuracy or lack thereof. However, that is highly irrelevant in this case for two reasons. One, a film must be judged on its own merits and not the merits of its source material or lack thereof. And two, the bloody thing is called Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Does it really matter? As you would expect from the title, this particular iteration of the story takes place during a zombie apocalypse. Oh, for goodness sake. Nigel, they've broken through the gate again!
I'll get right on it, master.
Thank you. Where was I? Oh yes, of course. There really is not much to tell about the film's story because it honestly does not seem to really have one. The film spends the first hour introducing all the characters that are relevant to the story, or lack thereof, and it does not even attempt to introduce anything even resembling a main conflict until even further into the film. All the characters come off as completely one-dimensional, especially this gentleman, who, given his all-black leather attire and dark, raspy, gravelly voice, is basically this film's interpretation of Batman. But the most appalling thing of all in this film to me is rather its cinematography. Most of this film, especially the action-oriented fighting scenes, are so dark it is impossible to make out what is going on. The most important thing to any scene, especially an action scene, is being able to see it. And if you cannot see it, there is no reason to invest. However, despite the film not having anything interesting about it, it does have a few good things about it. The special effects are quite spectacular, and the general design aesthetic of the zombies is quite intriguing. Unlike these bastards. Nigel!
I'm doing my best, master.
Thank you. In conclusion, it becomes frightfully clear that the only audience this film is aimed for are fans of the original books. Its lack of three-dimensional characters and compelling story makes it for a rather boring watch. So unfortunately, this film does not receive a full recommendation from myself. Therefore, I suggest that we all do the sensible thing and simply wait for Deadpool. That is going to kick all sorts of butt. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Norm. Thank you so very much for watching.